What's up, everyone? So, I just turned 30 a couple of days ago. I celebrated my birthday together with my girlfriend. We have the same birthday, I know, on this almost empty beach resort, and I really had the time to reflect back on the last 10 years, on my 20s. Thought about all the challenges I've had, all the mistakes I've made, most importantly, the lessons I've learned in the last decade. And in this video, I want to share my 5 most important lessons that I've learned in my 20s. But before I get to the first lesson, let me show you this, because I recorded the exact moment I turned 30.
2 minutes left. On the 6th of February, I'm turning 30. Goodbye, 20s. Strange feeling. Still the same?
As expected, absolutely nothing happened. I'm still the same person. This brings me to the first lesson. Age is just a number. And I know it sounds cliche, you're as young as you feel, you're as old as you feel, but it's really true. I mean, let me ask you this question. How old are you if you didn't know how old you are? Well, you could answer it the standard way, how many times I've circled the sun? Or the way I would answer is, how much experience do you have as a person? How wise are you as a person? Because to be honest, I know plenty of 50, 60-year-olds that are still immature, that have been living their whole life in this kind of bubble, comfort zone. So are they old? Yeah, their age says they're old, but are they able to overcome challenges and struggles and be a responsible, mature person? Not necessarily. Because on the other hand, I know a lot of 14, 15, 16-year-olds that have been through more shit in life already than a lot of 50 and 60-year-olds. Take my parents as an example. They were about 20 years old when they had me, and they also left their friends and family behind in Yugoslavia as they moved to Holland in hopes of finding a better life. And I mean, I couldn't imagine having a kid when I was 20. I was still this immature guy that has not been through a lot in life. I was still growing up myself. How could I ever raise a kid? So a lot of respect for my parents. But having young parents also had its perks. I could relate to my younger parents more than I could to older parents. They were still energetic and playful as well. I mean, I could go out partying with my parents basically, or go and do some sports together. And I always thought like, damn, that's something I will miss out on, because I will be much older when I have my first kid. But then a good friend of mine told me something that really triggered me. He basically said, yeah, but the average person doesn't take care of their body, health, and fitness that much. And since we live a pretty healthy lifestyle, we will be much more energetic and dynamic and playful when we grow older. Meaning, we can still play with our kids when we grow older. Even though I will be 10 years older when I have my first kid compared to my parents, I would probably still be able to play soccer with my kid or go out for parties or whatever you do in 10, 20, 30 years. And this really made me think, because if you don't have the motivation to stay fit and healthy for yourself, then at least do it for your kids, for your future kids, so you can play with them and relive your own childhood through them. Lesson number 2. So for lesson number 2, I want to start with the meme. And it's basically these two guys, two versions of the same guy. And one is like saying, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Poor me. And the other one is really happy and joyful and says, nobody cares. And this has also been one of the biggest epiphanies in my 20s. I've realized that life is meaningless. Nobody cares. You'll be forgotten in 3 generations. Do you know the name of your great-grandfather? What he did? What mistakes he has made? What failures and embarrassing moments he's had in his life? No, you have no idea who he was. And the same will be for you in about 3 generations. And this might sound very harsh. It might even trigger an existential crisis. That's how I viewed this as well in the beginning of my 20s. But it kind of switch to, oh my god, nobody cares, life is meaningless. Therefore you get to decide your own meaning for life. There are no rules in life. I mean, when you were born, you didn't get a guidebook like this is what you have to do and you can't do this and you can't do that. I mean, there are some rules like physical laws of nature. I mean, gravity, my phone will always fall. And also there's some societal rules, meaning you can't go walk down the street and punch someone in the face without consequences. You can accept the consequences and still punch someone in the face, so it's not a hard rule. But except for those rules, there are no rules in life. No one can tell you how you should live your life. You can do whatever you want to do. And this feeling that you get to attribute your own meaning to life is the most liberating feeling you can have. Like, you really have to sit down and think about the fact that everything you can see right now, everything here, I have no idea why it's there. I have no idea what all these details and infinite complexity of life and earth and nature is here for us. I have no idea, but I'm just gonna enjoy the fuck out of it. Why would you spend doing things you don't like doing in this small amount of time we have on this really big mystery called life? I just try to maximize happiness for myself and for the people around me. And that's it. That's the meaning I've attributed to life. Lesson number 3. This lesson actually brought me here where I am right now. I'm now traveling the world with my girlfriend. I quit my 6-figure job last year, and it's all because of this lesson. And it's actually a tweet I recently read that encompasses this lesson perfectly. And it goes as follows: fail while you have the energy to start over again. And it's a tweet by Jack Butcher, the creator of Visualize Value, but it basically summarizes exactly what I've realized in the last couple of years. If there is any time in your life where you want to take risk, it's when you're young. And there's a couple of reasons for this. As you grow older, you have less time, meaning you have less time to recover from a risk you might take, from a failure. For example, when you're 80 years old, you're not going to put your entire retirement fund in cryptocurrencies in the hopes of doubling in one day. No, you might lose 80% overnight. When you're younger, however, when you look at the long-term technology, it might be a really good investment, and you can afford. Yeah, really great idea recording outside, Stefan. Where was I? When you're younger, however, it wouldn't hurt to put some money into cryptocurrencies, for example, as you still have the time to recover if cryptocurrencies crash to zero. You still have your whole life in front of you to earn money, to save up money, to invest money again. So as you grow older, you have less time to recover. Also, as you grow older, you have more dependencies. More specifically, more dependencies on you. Meaning, if you grow older and you buy your own house, you now have a mortgage you need to pay off. You can't just quit your job and do whatever because you still have to pay your mortgage. You're in debt. If you decide to have children, that means you now also have children to feed, your family to feed. You can't just think about yourself. Oh, I'm going to quit my job, travel the world. No, your kids are going to starve if you don't take care of them. And also, just generally, I feel it as I grow older. You have less energy, meaning you have less energy to start over again, to recover from failures. And this is also something I've realized. The older I grow, the more content I seem to be, which is perfectly fine. That's what you want to have, being content with yourself, with life. But it's also kind of a trap because it also makes you accept the comfort zone a lot faster. You're like, yeah, life is pretty good. Why would I want to pursue something? And this is actually something I will explain in the last lesson, because being content is perfectly fine, but why not just pursue your goals and be content at the same time? That's what I'm striving for. Lesson number 4. This lesson actually made all this possible. And the lesson is, you need to design your life. Let me start explaining this lesson with a quote. This is a quote, I don't know by who, like, life is not about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself. And this is something I learned way back when I finished my university. Because when I got my degree, I was completely lost in life. I had my degree, but I still had no idea what I wanted to do, what I wanted to become, or how I would figure that out. So I thought the best thing I could do is go backpacking in Southeast Asia for 3 months to find myself. And to be fair, the only thing I found was a lot of buckets of vodka and Red Bull, but I haven't found myself. In fact, when I came back, that was probably the most challenging period in my life because I now completely lost myself. Like, I came back after 3 months in the hopes of finding myself, realized I didn't find myself, and I still had no idea what I wanted to do. But now also I was broke and it was winter in Holland. And I learned that you need to sit down and think about what you want out of life. Like, really sit down, think about where you want to be 10 years from now, and write down what your life looks like in full detail. Like, make it as clear as possible. And once you have this dream life clear for you, you not just have to reverse engineer it back to where you are right now. You will see the steps you need to take to get there. Now you have an actionable plan to get to your dream life. And you can literally do almost anything you want. There's this quote by Ray Dalio that I really like. You can be almost anything, just not everything. Meaning you need to have focus. Like, you can become an NBA player, an astronaut, a firefighter, you can have a startup if you put in the effort and the action and the focus and have a plan. But you cannot be all of those things at the same time. So a very important side note, it's not about this end life. It's not about this achieving this end goal in your master plan. Because it's a moving target. Once you achieve it, there will be another end goal 10 years later. But that's not what life is about. Life is about the journey, enjoying the whole journey, the process of going to that ideal life. It's now starting to rain and I'm enjoying it. Life is a roller coaster and you're just enjoying the ride. But having a master plan, having a design for your life, just make sure that you're in the right roller coaster for you. If you like loop-de-loops and going really fast, then make sure you end up in that really fast roller coaster. If you like a more chill, mellow, with a nice view kind of roller coaster, that's also okay. But you need to design your life to end up in the right roller coaster. And this brings me to lesson number 5. Once you're in that roller coaster, it's about enjoying the journey. Just enjoying the things in life, whatever it is, the small moments. Enjoy a coffee in the morning. Enjoy a nice view when walking. I'm now enjoying the fact that it's raining, but I have some shelter over my head. And hopefully the camera will stay dry. Otherwise, I will not enjoy this journey when my camera breaks down. What's the cliche quote? Like, it's not about avoiding the rain. It's about learning to dance in the rain or something. Now it's raining. And as it's raining harder, as you can see, I just want to leave you with the last lesson being enjoy life, enjoy the beauty of life. As I said with all the other lessons, it's not about designing a life and achieving as much as possible and taking risks, but life really is about the journey, making progress, enjoying the small things in life, just being grateful for whatever you already have and not being preoccupied with what you don't have. I'm now gonna enjoy the rain because I have a swimming pool. It's still warm, it is raining, I'm gonna get wet, so I might just get wet in the swimming pool. Guys, I hope my lessons were valuable to you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Cheers! And now I'm gonna jump inside the pool. That was it. See you in the next video. What the fuck am I talking about? My mind is... They were about 20-year-olds. If you don't have the motivation to take care, I don't know what this is. So lesson number 2 was life is meaningless, and that's awesome. And I realized that what the fuck? Some